Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's video we're going to be looking into what's ahead for you this upcoming month of February. So we're going to take a look at what general energies, events, or situations of significance are being presented to you as you navigate through this upcoming month ahead. Getting right into some disclaimers. First and foremost, this is a general reading, so keep in mind that some of the messages may apply specifically to you, while other messages might not. If it doesn't apply, if it doesn't feel like it really fits your situation, just release it and let it go, and certainly do not allow it to get you upset. One other tip that I wanted to give when it comes to these sort of month ahead forecast readings is maybe to allow the reading to play out before you decide that it doesn't resonate. Because sometimes when you let the month play out and then you come back and revisit the reading, you will realize that there were certain things that occurred that did resonate with your month now that the month is over. I know that I've had a couple of you guys share that feedback with me, so I always think that that's really good guidance and advice to provide as you're viewing these prediction style readings. Also, last disclaimer, guys, keep in mind that anything that we're predicting ahead in terms of like what's ahead for the future is not necessarily set in stone because energy is always changing. So if you see something that's predicted out for you in today's video, never feel like you're stuck or tied to what that prediction says, because you ultimately have free will to make your own choices and decisions to create whatever future or month ahead that you want to create for yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and pick our pile. So for pile 1, we have the pink Himalayan salt crystal. For pile 2, we have some pink Tourmaline. And for pile 3, we have some Amazonite. So I want you guys to think about the month ahead, the month of February. Take a deep breath. Go ahead and select the pile or crystal you feel the most connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamp that corresponds to your chosen pile. See you there. Hey pile 1, if you guys picked out the pink Himalayan salt, this is going to be your reading for this upcoming month of February. So I'm going to start with some tarot cards to see kind of the series of events ahead for you. And then we're going to move into some additional oracle cards all shuffled on camera. So let's go ahead and see. So we start off your month with the 8 of Wands, the King of Wands, the 3 of Cups. Ooh, and then we have the Tower. Interesting. Okay. So you're definitely starting off the month of February with a lot of fast movement, like fast-paced energy coming through really strong. You guys might literally be physically moving somewhere or traveling a lot at the beginning of the month. I also feel this is indicative of some sort of communication that's really important. And with the owls that are depicted here, you know, owls are known for being incredibly wise. So even though this is fast-paced energy, I do feel like there is something connected to like deeper wisdom behind the action that's being taken here, or the energy that's being embodied, or the communication that is being shared. With it being right next here to the Keeper of Spells, this is the King of Wands. This is super, super powerful, strong, confident leadership, masculine energy, okay? So I feel like for some of you, this surge of movement, this surge of energy is directly tied to you, my viewer, just feeling really confident and empowered going into the month of February. You guys may have some goals that you're looking to achieve. You may have some action or decisive steps or big moves that you're making this month. This is a very, very powerful depiction of the King of Wands. This is charismatic leadership as well. And I feel for some of you guys, with the 3 of Visions being here, some of your plans this month, your travels, whatever you're doing here, it may actually involve other people. With the 3 of Cups being here, a lot of times this talks about like friends, friendships, friend groups. It can also just be talking about a group of people where it feels like community. It feels like, you know, everyone is like emotionally connected in some sense. And so you guys actually might be in sort of a leadership role with regard to other people in your life in some form or fashion as you're navigating the month of February. I feel some of you are definitely, I feel like some of you are going after something that you're feeling really impassioned over, and it's something that feels really important to you because you have a lot of power and energy and fire and passion toward whatever this is. And it may actually involve, I mean, I do think it involves other people in some way. Connecting with others in some way. For others of you, I'm seeing this Three of Cups as being a lot of time spent together with friends or like-minded individuals as you're navigating this month ahead as well. Lots of fun energy being here. Definitely would make sense if you're traveling with a friend group or something like that. But it is interesting that we're ending the month here with the Tower. And this is like the way that it's called the Folly. The first thing that I thought about when I saw that word there was like some sort of mistake potentially being made. Let's take a look at the card. The door is open and the top of this structure has broken open and we have birds flying out of the top. It feels like there's something happening this month toward the end of the month of February, potentially related to the people around you, your friends, your support system, maybe peers, coworkers. There's something about the group around you where I feel like somebody is either making a mistake or somebody is potentially like showing themselves to be not as supportive as you initially thought that they were. It's also really interesting that you guys have the pink Himalayan salt here as well, because pink Himalayan salt is like great for like protecting your energy. It's also great for purification as well. And so it makes sense with the Tower being here that we may be purifying or purging something out of our lives. What else was I going to say? I also want to say that like, with all the fire energy that you guys have at the beginning of the month, I think that wisdom is going to be very, very important to avoiding any sort of mistakes, because fire energy is super fast paced, right? It can be impulsive. And sometimes if we don't properly channel that fiery, passionate energy, we can make mistakes or we can miss something because we're moving so fast that we're not really noticing the finer details of what's going on. So I think that Tower energy, that mistake energy that I'm getting at the end of the month of February could be connected to something that may be happening if you're not paying close enough attention. And I do feel like it is connected with people around you for some of you guys. So let's continue. Let's get some Moonology cards next. What else should pile one know about this upcoming month ahead of February? We have the full moon in Gemini. Let's get one more. And, okay, hold on. Too many flew out. There was like 4 that flew out. We have the South Node. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Sorry, guys, I wanted to zoom our screen out a little bit so there would be a little bit more space for us to see all the cards. So full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. That makes a lot of sense here with this 8 of Wands, because as I was mentioning, the 8 of Wands is about communication, and Gemini energy is also about communication. You know, Gemini is a mutable air sign. And with this being a full moon, this is talking about the conclusion of something. You know, something is coming into the light. The answers that you need are just on the horizon, but you're guided to have open and honest conversations so that you can better get those answers that you seek, okay? Gemini energy is also very flexible. It is a mutable air sign, right? So there might be a need for some of you guys as you're navigating the month ahead to be kind of curious. You know what I mean? I think going back to this fiery energy that's here, it's very passionate, it's very bold, it's empowered, right? But there's also a tendency to miss things when you're charging ahead with such passion. So I think with Gemini coming through, it's still a fast-paced energy, but it's about being a little bit more nimble, a little bit more curious, a little bit more open-minded and inquisitive as you're navigating this situation. You guys also have the South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. So that makes a lot of sense with the Tower, because the South Node is literally our past. It's old patterns, it's old behaviors, it's old situations, even old friends for some of you guys that may not necessarily be aligned with where we're needing to go in the future or where we are feeling called to go in the future. You guys are answering a call, like a spiritual calling at the beginning of the month, or following your passions and desires at the beginning of the month. And I keep feeling like there's something about this friend group that is potentially not in alignment with where you're trying to go, or someone in this group for some of you. So the South Node really talks about there's a need to kind of tie up any loose ends. There's a need to release the need to control a situation, really being able to let go of the past and allow the past to stay in the past, whether that's past people, situation, behaviors, patterns, whatever it is. There's a need to leave something in the past so that you can be able to continue on your powerful trajectory moving forward. So let's continue. We're going to go in with some of these Earth Magic Oracle cards next. What else is happening for pile 1 during this month ahead? Okay, let's take a look. Oh my gosh, we have the tsunami wake-up call. So you guys have multiple kind of tower energies coming up. So let's see. Let's get a little bit more into this. We also have the dawn, new beginnings, which is beautiful energy. You guys have karma coming up at the bottom. So there's definitely, the South Node is also karmic. You know, like this is also about like lessons we have learned already. So there's something that you guys are really needing to pay attention to, because the tsunami, for me, it talks about red flags. Yes, a tsunami, when it's coming at us, super scary. But if you read about tsunamis, you will find that there's typically some sort of red flags that you can see to know that they're coming, okay? So for instance, like typically when a tsunami is coming, it's coming right after an earthquake or after like a piece of land has fallen into the ocean. You will see sort of like the shoreline start to recede in a really like abnormal way. That's how you know that this big massive wave is on the way. And so with you guys being here at the beginning of the month in this really fast-paced energy, I feel like this is why I keep getting these messages about being really wise, slowing down, trying not to be too impulsive with your actions, because if you are, I think you're going to miss the red flags that are coming through trying to tell you that this tower energy is on the way, okay? And the thing about it is, you guys, is that new beginnings are coming regardless. So it's like, whether you guys want to just sort of release control and welcome the new beginning and let it flow into your life on its own, or you want the new beginning to like be shoved onto you, it's happening either way, because the Tower card is sort of about divine intervention. It's like the universe is shoving us out of our comfort zone. It is harsh, it is jarring, but it's because there's something in your life that needs to be released. There's something in your life that's no longer serving you anymore. And so this tower is coming along to kind of jolt you into the next gear, into a new gear, onto the right path, away from the past things that are no longer supporting you in your life anymore. So the beauty is like, this is why with these predictive style readings, I always say the future is not set in stone, because I think this is a prime example of, if you guys are really attuned to your situation at the beginning of the month, you can avoid a very abrupt ending of the month. You know what I'm saying? New beginnings are coming either way, which is beautiful. It's like, even if the tower moment happens, this shocking realization, whatever it is in your life, there is a dawning of a new day for you. Pile number 1. So definitely feels like this month is highly related to something new in your life. All right, we're gonna pull maybe 1 or 2 of these, and then we're gonna close out with some coffee cup oracles to see if we can pinpoint like what specifically this is talking about. Feels like it's related to friends or friend groups. people in your life, passions, things like that. But let's take a look. Your life purpose even. All right. What's happening for pile 1 this month of February? We have creativity. By all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. Definitely am seeing a lot of that creative energy at the beginning of the month with all of your wands. Like it certainly feels like you all are creating or manifesting something really big, going after something really big this month. Let's see. One more. We have true love. True love come to me. True love shall come to me as I do will, so mote it be. This is about calling in a new beginning in something you love, whether this is a love interest, friendships, a career path that you love. I mean, it can be different things depending on each person's individual situation out there. Look, you guys do have romance at the bottom though, but this for me doesn't always mean like romance with someone else. This literally can also mean just being in love with your life, being in love with your job. Like there's something in your life this month that is needing romance, that is needing to be romanticized, but not like in the imagination way, like in the real way. Like how are you living a life that you're in love with? This feels very much like geared toward the universe kind of shoving you into your life's purpose. So let's close it out, pile 1, with some of these little coffee cup oracle cards. I'm just curious to see if we can get a little bit more specific detail about what's ahead for you this month. So for pile 1, what else do they need to know about this month of February? What's ahead for them? Okay, so we have quite a few things here. We have coins, luck, and money. Love that for you. So something to do with your finances. We have the snake, desire, and attraction. So this is sort of like, I don't know, like it's kind of giving me that, you know, this red flags, right? Like, yes, there could be something you're feeling really passionately about, something that's a little tempting, but it might be something that's steering you off course of where you're supposed to be going. And the universe is going to come in and be like, no. We have the old woman, sadness, female. Okay. There could be some difficult energy around like letting this go. There could be an elderly woman of significance presenting in your life this month as well. Let's see. What else for pile 1? Like a grandmother, matriarchal sort of figure. We also have the bear, strength and resourceful. Excuse me. We'll grab one more because why not? I feel like with this bear, I keep getting a message about remaining curious. We have the rabbit, pregnancy and fears. Look at this bear, you guys, really quick. I'm getting another message. Just the way that this little dragonfly has landed on its little snoot here. It's giving very whimsical, curious, kind of like what I was talking about with the Gemini card. I feel like there's a need for you guys to be very, especially with it talking about being resourceful. Like there's something about like using your resources, being curious, being inquisitive, questioning things so that you know the best path forward. We also have the rabbit, pregnancy and fears. So there could be some fear around this new beginning, which makes a lot of sense. The South Node is very much our comfort zone. You know what I mean? And it's hard sometimes to leave that comfort zone. It is fearful, kind of can be fearful, scary going into the unknown. But I feel, again, this pregnancy, this creativity, this is all connected to something really creative that you guys are doing. Something that you have created for yourself that like you're putting this masculine action-oriented energy into it. And I do see that it's something that's going to bear you fruit, which is really exciting. So pile 1. We will end the reading here, but I'm definitely curious to hear from you. How does this resonate? What do you guys have planned for this month? Like I said in the beginning, make sure that you guys come back later after the month has passed and watch the video again, because sometimes you can pick up on little things that happened that you might have forgot about as things play out. So thank you guys for watching. If you're not already, please make sure you are subscribed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Bye. Hey Pile 2, if you guys picked out this beautiful pink tourmaline crystal, this is going to be your reading for the upcoming month of February. So we're going to get started with some tarot cards, and then we will be transitioning into all of our other oracle decks shuffled on camera. So let's go ahead and see. So for Pile 2, we have the Ace of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Okay. Definitely lots of new beginning energy here. I'm also seeing with both of our number 5s, the number 5 in numerology really is associated with challenges and change. And if you think about it, those things kind of can go hand in hand because most humans are creatures of habit and we don't like change. So sometimes change can feel difficult. So there's something that is changing this month, I feel, where there's a theme of change or challenge that's pushing you to make some changes in your life. Starting off this month, we do have an Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Spells here. So this feels like you guys are kicking off the month in a very inspired sort of energy. There's some sort of inspired idea, creative project, passion that you are breathing life into at the beginning of the month of February. This feels very magical as well. Like even just looking at how this is a dragon and it's literally like a magic wand that it's lighting up here. So I think that you guys are kicking off this month getting re-inspired around something in your life. And it feels very warm and it feels very exciting. As we move into the month, though, with this Five of Pentacles, I feel like there is a little bit of struggle here with self-esteem. The Five of Pentacles is sometimes this energy of feeling like we're not enough, or feeling like we've been abandoned, or we don't have that support system that we need. And for some of you, there might actually be a need to ask for help or to get support because there's this feeling of needing support for some reason. And I do see here that you are receiving help from someone. You know, we have these two people here. They're sitting outside. They are in the cold, but they are bundled up together and they are helping each other. You know what I mean? The other thing that I want to point out about this card as well, and this is similar to the traditional depiction of this card, but in the back, we have this home right here. We have sort of a sanctuary, a safe haven, and there's a very clear path that you can walk to get that help, right? So if you are struggling this month, if you feel like you need help in any way, it feels like there are actually a lot of resources that are available to you if you're open to receiving them. Sometimes the Five of Pentacles can talk about financial challenges as well. That may not necessarily be the case. It could be for some of you where maybe you're getting back on a budget this month and there's like a little bit of reigniting or getting re-inspired about how you're going to more adequately manage your resources. But it definitely feels like we're starting off with a bang, but there's something that is causing you to feel a little bit left out, or something that's making you feel like you need a little bit of support or help with whatever your initial burst of energy is about, okay? Now, as we move through the month of February, I do see things turning around for you here with this Child of Boons. This is the Page of Pentacles, right? So this is about getting on the right path, starting off on a new path. And it's interesting that we go from this Five of Pentacles, which is typically about feeling lost or abandoned or maybe struggling financially, and now we're on path for new beginnings in our financial, physical, material realm. So I definitely feel like you guys are starting to get curious about what direction you can take, about what path you want to pursue in order to move out of this sort of energy. It's almost like you guys have this really amazing idea, but maybe you feel like you don't have the resources or the funds to get it off the ground for some of you. But as the month goes on, I see you guys getting a lot more curious about what's out there and the resources that are at your disposal. Learning as well. The Page of Pentacles is about studying. It's about learning. It's about curiosity. You know, you can even see here, we have this child really inspecting this house made of candy. You know what I mean? Being really curious to learn more about it. So there's certainly learning that's happening for some of you this month as well, that's helping to pull you out of this Five of Pentacles energy and push you onto a more productive path forward, new beginnings. I do think that there is a little bit of self-sabotage for some of you guys as well with the Five of Swords being here. And it's interesting because when I was like reading about this candy house, I was thinking of, is it Little Red Riding Hood with the big bad wolf? Is that the one? No, or is it? It's Hansel and Gretel where they're in the woods and they're like lured into the candy house. Is that the one I'm thinking of, you guys? Comment below. I can't remember for sure. But it's like there's this fear, I feel like, associated with you guys exploring this thing or going after this thing or learning about this thing, where maybe there's a little bit of a tendency to get in your head and think the worst about the situation, when really it's like it might not really be as bad as what you think it is. Five of Swords is a lot about mindset. It's about like self-sabotage. It can be about like getting in your own way a lot of times, you know? So let's see. And what's interesting too is like with our thoughts, a lot of times really do impact the way that we feel. And because they impact the way that we are feeling about a situation, it can impact the way that we show up to it. So I kind of feel like with both of those fives being here, this is the change that you guys are being pushed to make this month, is kind of shifting your perspective a little bit on this situation in order to feel better about it and thus create a more desirable, tangible outcome for yourself. So let's see. We have the Void, of course, Moon. Nothing will come of this. Okay. Let's see. Let's get one more for pile 2. We have the Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. Okay. Let me get a sip of water. So with the Void, of course, Moon, this is definitely kind of confirming that there's this energy of maybe feeling a little lost or a little stuck this month, not really knowing what we're doing, where we're going, how to move forward. But the Void, of course, Moon is temporary, you guys. And I think sometimes it's important to note that we don't always have to feel like we're doing something. I feel like you guys are going into the month of February really wanting to take action, really wanting to do something. And it's almost like you're being called to take action if you want, but to do it more slowly, more curiously, maybe being more skeptical for some. The Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. So this is about like kind of taking the time to rest and relax and recharge. You know, maybe sort of being okay with inaction this month, if that's feeling like the right path for you. You know what I mean? Some of you guys might also be exploring with this Page of Pentacles, learning more about certain aspects of yourselves that you want to heal. But with the Void, of course, Moon, I think the positive thing about this is that it notes that what you're going through is a temporary phase. You know, it's not going to last forever. You're going to find your home, quote unquote, metaphorically, physically, spiritually, eventually. But it almost feels like this month is sort of a time where you're being guided to just sort of relax a little bit and focus on your healing. So let's see, what else for pile 2? What else does pile 2 need to know about the month of February, please? Sanctuary, the cave. It does feel like you guys are looking for sanctuary, like you're looking for a home, maybe physically for some. Let's see what else we get. We also have the clouds, shape-shifting, shifting mindset, shifting perspective. Yeah, I think sanctuary is further confirming that this may be a month where you guys are just guided to sort of look for peace, right? Look for places and situations that bring you peace. And remember, it's okay to be to yourself. I'm also noticing that he has this fire going here, kind of like with our Ace of Wands. So you can still spend time on your own, channeling your passions toward things that feel meaningful to you. We also have the shape-shifting of the clouds, which again is echoing this message of, you know, thinking about your perspective on the situation. How are you thinking about it? Because clouds, you can look at a cloud and see one thing. Your friend can look at the same cloud and see something totally different in the clouds, right? So it is about your mindset and being able to shift perspectives. Okay? So let's do a couple of these and then we'll close it out with the coffee cup oracle to see if we can get some more specifics on what's happening for you guys this month. All right, for pile 2. What else does pile 2 need to know? So we have imagination coming up. What else? We also have knowledge. Beautiful. That makes so much sense with this Page of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles is the student. We have imagination. Imagination now sets me free. Divine ones, I send my thanks to thee. This is very similar, like very much echoing this Ace of Wands of like taking that inspired action or ideating creatively how you want to move forward. Finding a creative way out of your situation, perhaps. We have knowledge. Let me connect above and below. Let the knowledge of my ancestors flow. So again, this is about being a student, being in the learning zone. Being okay with the fact that you may not know everything right now, but you will. Through this experience, you will gain more knowledge. I also think some of you guys with this message about your ancestors, I think that there is some learning that you can, or some knowledge you can receive from connecting to your ancestors and connecting it to your situation here. So let's see. Oop. So let's see, for pile number 2, we're going to close this out with some coffee cup oracle cards. Just want to see kind of like what else is coming through for you guys in the month of February. Okay. So we have the key, lock and unlock. So there's something to be unlocked during this time, perhaps some knowledge. Let's see, we have cunning and stealth, the wolf. This is also like lone wolf energy, which I kind of feel is the vibe for your month this month. Using your smarts and your skills to move through your situation. We have coins, luck, and money. So there is something here about money and finances that's coming up this month for sure. Let's see what else. We have the dolphins, playfulness and cooperation. Okay, we have these 2 flying out, so we're going to take them. We have birds, news and messages. So some of you guys might be receiving some sort of news this month. That would make sense with the Page of Pentacles as well, because pages can also be divine messengers. We also have stability and security, the anchor. Yeah, it definitely feels like this group is really wanting something stable or something to feel more stabilized in their life this month. And it feels like the overall energy of your month is sort of about exploring and unlocking what that looks like for you. So pile number 2, I think we'll go ahead and end the reading here, but I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what you have planned for this month, what messages you feel could apply to you. I would also encourage you to come back after the month of February is played out to check and see if any of these things materialized in your life. That's always a fun way to kind of see if the readings really resonate or which aspects resonate the most. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please make sure that you are subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you then. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you guys picked out this Amazonite crystal, this is going to be your reading for the month of February. So let's go ahead and get started and see what is ahead for you this month. So we're kicking things off with the 7 of Cups. We have the Judgment card, Knight of Wands, and the Hierophant. Beautiful cards, beautiful energy. Okay. Let's see. So I definitely feel like coming into the month of February, there are some choices and decisions that you guys are being faced with. With the 7 of Cups, this is sometimes an energy where we have a lot of options. We have a lot of choices. Maybe there's even an energy of you guys being spread really thin between a lot of different things that you enjoy, you know, spread between like your kids, your home, your family, your hobbies. This could even be some of you guys trying to decide between something within a category, deciding what love interest you want to date, deciding what career path you want to pursue. But the energy of the Seven of Cups is scattered, right? Because it's like there's so many things on your plate that it's kind of hard to streamline and really dedicate to just one thing. You know what I mean? And so because we're not really channeling our effort and energy into one thing, the energy is very scattered. It's a very dreamy energy where we're fantasizing about a lot of things, you know, versus doing a lot of things. And sometimes we're in that fantasizing mode because it's like, how do we even tangibly pick what to do? You know, sometimes it's easier to fantasize versus to do when we have a lot of choices or a lot of competing priorities here. And what I see here as you guys are moving into the month of February with the Judgment card is I almost feel like some of you guys are getting counsel, like you're getting feedback. It almost feels like you guys are being judged or feel like you're being judged in a sense because just the way that this card is depicted, there's like a lot of eyes looking at us, right? It's like we have everybody watching us. We have everybody looking at our every move, that type of vibe. So some of you guys may be going through something along those lines, feeling judged because of your lack of direction or feeling judged because of something really imaginative that you're doing. But Judgment card also talks about decisions. Again, it talks about sort of reviewing where we're at in our life or reviewing this situation that we're feeling a little confused about and asking ourselves, okay, how would this realistically fit into my life? And really reviewing all of the circumstances before we decide to move forward with an idea. So I do think some of you are reviewing the situation to try to make a choice. Where for others of you, I see that there is a review of the situation in partnership with others. Like maybe you're getting counsel from others because we have the counsel of animals here, okay? Moving through the month of February, I do see a lot of passion, excitement, creativity. I'm also noticing that there's a little fox here. So there's a fox right here as well. So foxes typically have to do with being stealthy. You know, they kind of come out at night. They're not frequently seen during the day. They move in silence. They can be a little sneaky, right? So maybe you guys kind of decide going through the month of February that like to avoid judgment that we're going to take a little bit more of a secretive approach to our passions, a secretive approach to what we're doing. Because it's like you guys are in the dark here going after whatever this is. You know what I mean? And you are just accompanied by the fox, right? In the dark, going after your passions, being excited about whatever it is that you're doing, kind of turning your back on the judgments of others. Could also see you guys traveling a lot this month for some of you, or just getting out there and doing really exciting things. But intuitively, I feel this is about you guys exploring something or doing something that you feel really excited about, but doing it sort of in secret so that you can avoid other people's opinions kind of getting in the way. Closing out the month, we have the oldest one. This is the Hierophant card. So some of you guys may actually be like providing spiritual guidance to others or look to as a mentor for others. Some of you guys may also be receiving guidance from someone, maybe an elder, an ancestor. But this is very much like connecting with someone who is a mentor, a subject matter expert in the field that you're in or in the subject matter that you're interested in exploring. This is also spiritual guidance. So going to someone who is a spiritual advisor, someone that can support you on your journey. Either way, it definitely feels like you guys are supported this month as you're navigating the situation. And it may actually be beneficial for you to connect with someone who's older, wiser, more experienced, because the Knight of Wands is not a very experienced energy yet. And I can see you guys have a lot of passion and excitement over what it is that you want to do. But I do feel that there's a little bit of a fear of judgment, and maybe connecting with someone who's been through a similar situation before will be very helpful to you. So let's continue. We're going to get some additional cards here for pile 1. So what's going on with pile 1 this month? We have the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. That makes so much sense with that Seven of Cups there. Let's see. We also have a time for healing, the balsamic moon. Okay. So beginning of this month, I definitely see, again, there's this opportunity for new beginnings here. And with Pisces energy being here, it makes a lot of sense next to the Seven of Cups. This is very spiritual energy. Pisces energy is also, it's a mutable water sign, which is kind of similar to the Seven of Cups, where it's like kind of flowing all over the place in a sense. And it needs something to contain it, right? So I feel like at the beginning of this month, in order for you guys to kind of decide what direction you want to go to sort of contain that beautiful watery energy flowing within, we are going into meditation. We are being a little bit more contemplative. We're needing to decide which direction we want to actually channel this energy. For some of you all, I feel like this is going to be a very spiritual month ahead for you, with Pisces coming up, with the Hierophant coming up. But Pisces is beautiful energy. It's about it's like connected to the heart. It's water, it's emotion. It's like a new beginning for you to channel your emotion in a way that feels very spiritually connected to what you want to be doing, or aligned with you spiritually and emotionally. But it's about learning how to contain and direct it in a specific area, I feel. You guys also have the balsamic moon. This is talking about a time for healing. So there could be a need to maybe take a break at points of time this month to really reflect and think things through. I also want to look in the guidebook for this one to make sure that I'm not like missing anything. This is about letting go of the past. You're about to turn the corner, needing more time to heal. Think about how the situation would look if everyone were healed. Patience being required. It's self-care time. Interesting. So there could be like more, it's like interesting that I was picking up on people here, because there could also be more people involved in this situation than I initially realized for some of you. And with the balsamic moon, yes, this is about healing, taking time for you to heal, but there may also be a situation at large that needs time to heal. And your actions can potentially be impacting that healing one way or another. So it's like kind of looking at the bigger picture too, of like what's best for not only me, but for everyone. So let's see. What else for pile 3 this month, please? We have the Eagle, communion. Again, like super spiritual energy coming up with that. This is echoing that message of meditation. And I also feel this is talking about being able to kind of see yourself and others, being able to connect with others on an emotional, spiritual level. Understanding that we are all connected on a spiritual level, no matter how challenging the person is or the situation is that you're dealing with. We also have winter solstice, reflection. Yeah, so this is definitely, I feel, a month where there is like some action happening for you guys behind the scenes, if you will. Look, you guys also have childhood being here. So there could be something about your childhood or family that's coming up this month. Definitely was kind of getting that with the balsamic moon and this council card, but there's definitely a need this month for, I think, more rest, more reflection. Yes, there is action going on kind of behind the scenes. I feel like you guys are kind of doing your own thing. But in terms of like a greater situation with others, it feels like this needs to be put on ice for everybody to be able to sort of reflect on their own behavior. Let's see what else. What else does pile 3 need to be aware of this month? Dream sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. More messages of rest, you guys. Just getting your rest. Not allowing any situation to keep you up at night anymore. Let's see. We also have joy. Aw. As I do will, so mote it be. Let joy and light radiate from me. That's really echoing that Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I think it's like really important that you guys kind of sprinkle in those moments of joy into your life this month. You know what I mean? Like, separate from any situation that needs healing in a sense, like especially regarding other people, and just find your moments to have fun away from that situation, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and close this out with some of these coffee cup oracle cards here. So what else does pile number 3 need to be aware of as they navigate this month ahead, the month of February? Let's take a look. Okay, so we have a few flying outs. Look at those in a minute. Okay, so we have unfolding, the envelope, unfolding and surprise. We have the wheel, endings and beginnings. So you guys might be getting some sort of news that's kind of surprising, or seeing events kind of naturally unfolding on their own. And it definitely makes sense with like the balsamic moon, the winter. This is typically a period of time where something is coming to a close. Something is coming to an end in order for us to prepare for a new beginning. We have the bear, strength, resourcefulness. We have the tree, stability and growth coming in. Again, roots energies making me think of family for some of you guys. Let's grab one more. Okay, and then we also have the moon, cycles and change. Yes. You guys are sort of on a new cycle though, with that new moon in Pisces coming up. New moons are new cycles, new beginnings. And I want to actually look and see really quick with the new moon in Pisces. Oops, hold on. Just curious. 64. Just curious if there are any other themes that I missed when I was reading intuitively. I always like to know the guidebook too. So this is talking about use your feelings to guide your way. Logic won't work right now. Face your fears. They may be holding you back. The situation is being healed, which makes a lot of sense with some of the other messages that we got. Surrendering to the divine. Avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived. Interesting. Yeah, so I think that this is about this month really listening to your feelings and letting your emotions just sort of like guide you forward. Whatever you are feeling about the situation, if it is confusing you, if you do feel like you're being judged, you know, listen to those feelings and honor those feelings. And I just feel like this is a month where you all are kind of guided to rest. You know, let it rest and not try to force any changes if you're not ready. So, pile 3, we will go ahead and end the message here. I would love to hear from you in the comments which aspects you think resonate with some of the plans you have for this month ahead. So drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated when I post the next reading. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.